As we said earlier on, corruption manifests itself in many forms, and so it has also many causes. And one of the causes that we may look at is low salaries and poor working conditions. If people are given low salaries and yet they do a lot of work, they are prone to corruption. How can we explain this? If, for instance, there's somebody who is taking care of a particular institution, of a particular farm, say a guard, and is paid so low, and yet works from morning to evening, and somebody who has money and who may even have evil deals comes at the gate of the farm and says, if you allow me in, I'm going to give you this certain amount. Definitely this person will give in to such. And this person may end up affecting so many people in the farm. If, for example, there's insecurity issue, the person may end up blowing a farm and think of how many people will die because of this. And the same as poor working conditions. Everybody wants to work, to stay in good working conditions. But if they are not given, then they'll be prone to corruption. Another cause may be greed. And greed may lead to unregulated desires for money, for power, or for another thing with no regard to moral boundaries. So it means this person who wants to attain power will do all that is possible, whether good or bad, to be able to achieve, even if it means to let others lose job. They will not care because they know what they want. They have no regard for moral boundaries. They have no regard for ethics. They don't follow the principles. The other issue that can be a cause of corruption is decline or lack of ethical values, just as I've mentioned. And this may either be due to lack of education or even negative learning experiences. If somebody has not been trained well, if the values have not been inculcated in the person, if the person does not have any respect for the human dignity, then corruption will not be a problem for them. Another issue is when people fail to understand that work should be at the service of the people, and therefore they lack the sense of service when they are working in public or private institution. If people get offices and work for their own good, for their own selfish interest, instead of serving the common good, therefore we say lack of sense of service may be a cause of corruption. Another cause could be lack of the courage to denounce corrupt behavior and also situations that are conducive to corruption. Someone may not have the courage, the energy to say no because they want to fit in the society. If the society is corrupt and there's only one person who is left, or few, they feel intimidated because they don't know what they can be able to do. They simply cover the corrupt individuals sometimes so that they are safe. Sometimes they cover them and say nothing is going to happen. Or perhaps out of cowardice so that they can stay safe. So fear can be a cause of corruption. Lack of transparency has also been seen to be a cause of corruption, especially in the institutional level, whereby nothing is put into the open, whereby we have no records, we have no documentation. The right information is not given to the right people. The stakeholders do not know what is happening. Then this can be a cause of corruption. Because if the documents are not well kept, they can easily be manipulated. If there is no clear flow of information, supervision, performance appraisals. This can be a cause of corruption. Slow and unreliable judicial process can also be another cause of corruption. And therefore we say justice delayed is justice denied. So the more you delay the justice, the more people get agitated, the more justice is denied, and therefore the people are prone to corruption. In institutional level, we can say where there is no right or proper criteria of promotion of staffs in an institution, there can be occasions and chances where corruption may take place. But then we want to ask ourselves, is there a connection between corruption and peace? And we'll again say yes. Why? Because corruption can affect delivery of service, just as we stated earlier. For example, it can affect delivery of health service, delivery of education, and as such, this can contribute to structural violence, because all these issues, all these corrupt measures are already embedded in the structure. So, though it is my right to access basic education, somebody puts it clear to me that I must pay for it, and therefore it becomes part and parcel of the institution. Again, corruption may lead to conflicts and threatening peace, and especially when there is diversion of resources. Resources that are intended to benefit a larger population, if they are diverted, then this can threaten peace. And I can give an example of if we have resources that are supposed to benefit a particular community, maybe in providing services, and instead of that particular service, e.g. health service, the money is diverted maybe to go and drill boreholes for somebody else, already that can threaten peace. It may also lead to violation of human rights. We say everybody has a right, for instance, to participate in civil election. But if corruption prevents free and fair election, this can threaten peace. And this is normally experienced, and it has been experienced in our region, when citizens feel that elections were not free and were not transparent. And finally, we see people engaging in war. Corruption may also affect the judicial process directly, and this may affect the independence and impartiality of the judge, and this may violate the right to fair trial. And we find that the guilty may be left free and continue perpetuating injustices, while the innocent continue suffering. And the guilty are going through free because of their financial status, their financial muscle. And therefore cases involving them are not dispensed of expeditiously. They get delayed, and the poor people continue suffering. So if all this happen, then we say peace is threatened.